romance. Introduction. Romantic fantasy drama that involves a contract marriage exploring human experiences. Olivia has a chance encounter with a man that is going to really surprise her. With the turn of events coming her way, she is going to think she is dreaming. It's real and it happened to her in the here and now, she realizes. A fantasy story that is not bound by constraints of the real world, or scientific facts. Takes place at real locations with some entirely new, imaginative settings. Audiobook created with a AI narrator and AI generated art. Copyright. Independently published the 6th of August 2025. Author Dr. Sheree E. Love PhD. Mastery Institute Immersion Coaching Online Business. July 24, 2025. Pocket FM Writers Academy Publish Audio Series 07-2025. Stratford Career Institute Art. Highest Honors ID. F500 5511. Capella University October 18, 2002 Power Builder 6.0 Object-Oriented Construct Certificate No. 81567708. Table of Content. 1. Episode 1 Once in a Lifetime. 2. Episode 2 The Scarf That Changed Their Life. 3. Episode 3 Lakeside. Main fictional characters. 1. Olivia Reese. 2. Olivia's mother Julie Reese. 3. Olivia's dad Bryden Reese. 4. Olivia's assistant Sophia. 5. Oliver Mateo. 6. Oliver's assistant Levi. 7. Oliver's dad Carlos Mateo. 8. Olivia's mother Isabella Mateo. 9. Oliver's sister Madeline Mateo. 10. Oliver's uncle Samuel Mateo. 11. Olivia's brother Ethan Reese. 12. Olivia's sister Melissa Reese. Island of Surprise. Episode 1. Once in a Lifetime. Window shopping for a woman's luxury handbag, Olivia decided to go to a nearby ice cream stand. Greeted by the salesman, "Hello, what can I help you with today?" Olivia replied, "Hello, what are your specials for today?" She asked as she looked at his blue and gray ball cap he was wearing. "Today's specials are caramel nut swirls, mint with chocolate chips," he replied. "Have sherbet of any kind?" Olivia had asked. "Which one would you like? Blue moon, tangerine orange, or raspberry?" asked the salesman as he pointed at the first row in front of her. "Let me see," she replied. "I would like the raspberry." As the salesman was getting her order together, putting it in a clear container with a black lid, Olivia gazed at the other flavors of sherbet and how the stand was organized. "Thank you so much," Olivia said to the salesman as her purchase was being handed to her. "Have a good day," the salesman replied. From across the street, a gentleman noticed the scarf flow to the ground as if it was a feather. Oliver Mateo saw a woman reach out her hand to the salesman as he headed in their direction. He saw that it was an ice cream stand and Olivia had already walked away. When Mr. Mateo approached the ice cream stand, he said to the salesman, "Sir, I am not here to make a purchase. I saw a young lady drop her scarf as I was standing across the street, and I just came to retrieve it for her." The salesman said, "A scarf?" "Yes, Mr. Mateo replied. "It is right under the front wheel of your stand." the wheel. At the front of his ice cream stand, the scarf was handed over to Mr. Mateo. He thanked the salesman, and the salesman replied, "You're welcome," as Mr. Mateo walked away, thinking about the young lady wearing a dark peach dress as he walked in the direction in which she had went. Mr. Mateo stopped for a moment as three people passed by him, riding past him on skateboards, giving him the opportunity to have a look at the scarf. He noticed the scarf was light gray in color, adorned with yellow and red roses, having a dark gray trim going along the edge of the scarf, and it appeared there was no damage done to the scarf after laying on the ground. As Mr. Mateo looked up to see if it was clear for him to walk, "There she is," he thought, and continued to walk towards her. Episode 2: The Scarf That Changed Their Life. Back to her window shopping for a luxury handbag, Olivia passed by two more stores as she walked along Miami Gardens Boulevard. She had a feeling that someone was following her and stopped for a moment and put her spoon into the sherbet. Olivia near a window at the Westland Mall, a handbag caught her eye, as she stood there and continued to enjoying her sherbet. "They have a beautiful collection," she thought, as Olivia started to move closer to the right side of the window. Olivia turned right into Mr. Mateo. The remaining sherbet went all over Mr. Mateo's Oxford Derby orthopedic leather shoes. Not being too shocked, his arms swung open as he stepped back. "Startled me, and I am so sorry my sherbet is on your shoes," Olivia said. "It's fine. My name is Oliver Mateo and I am returning your scarf to you," he replied as he looked at the blonde highlight in the front of her hair. "I'm Olivia Reeves," she replied. "My scarf. Thank you. I hadn't realized I lost it," Olivia replied. "Here, you wipe your shoes off with these washcloths. They are durable," Olivia said to Oliver. "Thank you," he said as he accepted them from her hand. "Where did you happen to find my scarf?" Olivia asked Oliver, as he was wiping the sherbet off of his Oxford. "I saw when you had dropped it, but I was too far away from you for you to hear me," Oliver replied. "I would be more than happy to replace your sherbet, if you like." Olivia wasn't quick to answer, as she turned around and looked at the handbags for a moment. "Yes, thank you," Olivia replied as she looked at Oliver's goatee. Arriving back at the ice cream stand, the salesman didn't make any remark about the two of them being back again. Oliver and Olivia talked for a short moment about the flavors, and Oliver chose raspberry sherbet as did Olivia. Deciding not to depart from each other so soon, the two of them went lakeside. Their conversation started about a hummingbird that landed on Oliver's left knee moments after he had just sat down. Neither of them motioned for the hummingbird to move. Olivia looked at Myrtle Lake for other hummingbirds and did not see any nearby. Oliver said, "Hello, little birdie." As Olivia looked to see what was going to happen, the hummingbird just kept chirping as it moved to Oliver's left hand and rested there. "Hello, birdie," Olivia said, wanting to see if the hummingbird would come to her, and yes, it did. The hummingbird landed on her right hand as she held it out. Suddenly the hummingbird was flying directly in her face. The hummingbird had started flying back and forth as though it was checking them out, then flew away. "What was that?" Olivia exclaimed as she looked at Oliver, and he replied, "Very interesting, wasn't it?" "Yes," she replied. The conversation started with Oliver saying he is a CEO in the hospitality election, Oliver replied. I can do that, Olivia replied. They exchanged phone numbers. Like two normal people coming from opposite directions, Oliver's and Olivia's personal assistant were walking towards them. Episode 3, Lakeside. Oliver walking away with his assistant after their assistants had been introduced. The driver was holding the door open as Oliver and Levi were approaching the Maserati limousine. Olivia's assistant Sophia informed Olivia that the information she had requested was in the limo. After entering a BMW X7 Premier luxury limo, Olivia started reviewing the information she requested as the limo drove away. Oliver deciding to make a stop on the way to his family's library, South Shore Branch Library. A privately owned library that is open to the public, located on Pine Tree Drive in walking distance of Indian Creek. Entering the two-story library, the Welcome Center is to the right, allowing each visitor to be seen as they enter. Hello, Mr. Mateo, being welcomed by the librarian as he walked by with his assistant. Hello, Oliver replied as he continued on looking at the cedarwood turnbuckle industrial reading tables. On both sides of the room, each table has 6 chairs and there are 4 tables on both sides. Walking past 5 bookshelves also on each side of the room as he headed for a maplewood staircase, stopping to ask his assistant to wait for him on the main floor, where he could go to the snack room for a cold drink or a sandwich from one of the 2 vending machines. On the second floor of the library, Oliver entered a private reading room with a pass key, closing the door behind him. Walking to the built-in bookshelves along the wall, Oliver was looking for a very specific book he recalled looking at as a child. Removing 3 books, he walked to a cedarwood turnbuckle industrial reading table that is positioned right in the center of the floor that also has 6 chairs. Placing the books down on the table, Oliver thought to get a notepad and ink pen from the desk. The cedarwood desk having 4 small drawers on each side and one in the center of the desk. He looked until he was able to find the ink pen and went back to the table. Olivia arriving home to a 2-bedroom house in a gated community heritage village, the driver opened the door for her to exit the BMW X7 Premier luxury limo. Her driver is also a trained bodyguard. Olivia's driver was chosen by family. Placing the information she had received from her assistant on a table in the front room as she passes by and turns on some music, I Gotta Be, Jagged Edge. Making her way to the kitchen, Olivia makes herself a chicken salad with green apples as she drinks a glass of wine. Finding herself thinking about the hummingbird, Oliver found the information he was looking for and located his assistant before leaving the library. Immediately after entering the corporate headquarters for his family's business, Oliver was told his parents were in his office and have been waiting for an hour. Thank you, Oliver replied. Levi was handed a folder Oliver had been holding when he walked in the building and they went on their way. Greeting his parents as he saw them standing by the window deep in conversation, after entering the office with Levi, glad to see that you are doing well, his dad replied as he turned around. Nice to see you, Oliver, his mother replied after turning around and began walking towards him. His parents and Levi also greeted each other as Levi placed the folder on Oliver's desk and was leaving the office after Oliver spoke a few brief words with him. There was no with unnecessary questions, he retrieved the company's gross earnings files from his desk and handed 2 folders to his mother. Both of his parents then had a seat while going over the reports. Oliver started opening mail that had been left on his desk that morning while he was out of the office. With his parents, business is what they are all about when they come to his office. Mr. Mrs. Mateo have nothing to do with the operation. They only discuss the issues after reviewing reports and leave the final decision to Oliver. The asset report has 3 businesses listed on it, with Trailways Train Express being first on the list, followed by Diamond Center Shopping Malls being second, and last on the list third is South Shore Branch Library. As the reports were handed back to Oliver, his parents agreed that there did not seem to be any issues. The reports indicated a stable and consistent revenue growth. Oliver mentioned Olivia being CEO in the timepiece industry to his parents, that she would be showing him some watches from her new collection. He would be looking for something different to cover his birthmark. Mr. Mateo and Mrs. Mateo asked Oliver to hold out his wrist, and the both of them looked at his clamshell birthmark. His parents both took their left hand, placing them on top of his birthmark, and his garments changed, with him standing there in a cotton long-sleeve shirt and cotton pants. Suitable for walking around on the beach. He also was wearing a golden crown with 2 light blue diamonds on each side on the front of his crown. His parents' garments had also changed, with them wearing crowns of their own. His parents stood back and just looked at Oliver, saying, "As you know, you don't need us to do that for you. Your attire will only change when it's what you want. No one can make it happen."